Good morning, everyone, from beautiful downtown Austin, Texas. My name is Forrest Kimbrell with 1836 Property Management. It is beautiful, as always, but it's definitely fluctuating if you're local. I think we hit a record high of 92 on Friday. And in November, I got sunburned in November, and then woke up Monday morning, and it was in the 30s. So that's fall and spring for everyone, but especially down here in Texas. But hey, it's the holidays. It's a busy time, but as always, I'm super excited to talk about investment real estate. Today, I have with us one of my favorite vendors that 1836 has ever had. It's always kind of rotating in and out, but we have Douglas MacDonald with HandyMac Solution. So he's one of our licensed, experienced vendor partners, serves a greater Austin area. And he is one of our contractor vendors, but I mean, talk about a jack of all trades here. Full service home improvement from make ready to plumbing and electrical. So those, specialized services, but on top of that, flooring, painting, drywall, lighting, fencing, you name it, contractor, they can do it. So Douglas, thank you so much for being here. Introduce yourself.
Thank you for it. I'm glad to be here. I've been helping people fix up homes and rentals for over 20 years. Like Forrest said, we handle just about everything: painting, flooring, plumbing, electrical, fencing, and bigger projects too. Our goal is simple: to do honest work, get the job done right, and make sure our clients can count on us.
Yeah, and I can attest for that. We've been working with Douglas and team for just over a year now. Does that feel right, Douglas?
A little bit over a year, yeah.
Yeah, a little over a year, maybe summer of 2024. But because they can do so much, I've probably dispatched more work to HandyMac than any vendor, any single vendor in my time as a PM. What are we talking about today with our contractor vendor HandyMac Solution? So really, we're going to talk about getting the property ready, right? Get it rent ready. Streamline our make ready service, both prior to listing it the first time and at turnover. We want to maximize our value and minimize our vacancy. So how do we get high quality, quick services that accomplish those things? We're going to talk about our big three topics are going to be really what are the biggest updates that deliver the biggest payoff, right? It's conversations I have all the time with owners. What do I do now and what do I defer? What's going to make the most difference, right? Two, at our turnover process, we want to reduce that vacancy and so how do we streamline that process? Lastly, we're going to talk about preventative maintenance and long-term planning. Let's jump right into our first topic, which are updates that deliver the biggest payoff. I know what I think, but Douglas, we just recently worked on a facelift, if you will, that condo over on South Lamar. So tell me, what do you think are the most important things that rental owners should pay attention to when it comes to performing updates?
So the biggest thing helps the property rent fast are fresh paint and good lighting, like we do on that property you just mentioned. Those make a good first impression. Also, in other homes, a renovated kitchen and a bathroom will help to rent the house faster. When it comes to balancing cost and return, it really depends on the property area. In some areas of Austin, tenants look for newer finishes, and in some other areas, they're more looking for appliances or light fixtures can help the home rent faster and for more money. But in other areas, homes are mainly for the value, don't have to go all out. A clean, well kept space with fresh paint and accent walls can do the trick. The goal is to spend smart, fix what matters most to the renters, not just what looks nice on paper. Curb appeal matters too, of course. A clean yard and a paint front door can attract tenants.
Yeah, that in a nutshell, that's a great answer. I think, we've been talking about this a lot lately because, as you guys know, there's been a market shift. That some might call it a market correction, right? we're seeing higher days on market, we're seeing lower prices. And you can only price, we can always run comps and see what the market value is, and we can price just underneath it. But what's that extra step that we're going to take that separates us from the high inventory and competition on the market? And that is, one, getting people out to the property because the condition is spectacular. And then when they show up, it's got a sparkle, right? It's not just another one of the 5 to 10 to 15 rental properties that they're touring with their agent that weekend, right? It's got to be the one that said, oh man, you remember that property over there on Main Street that had that beautiful clean yard and the shrubs and flowers in the front yard, and then we walked in and the fixtures, that's what we were expecting from our photos, but man, it really it was particularly clean. And like you said, where are we spending money on updates? We can always return it to its condition, right? Or just make it look clean. But if we're going to put money into it, where do we want to put it? Kitchen and bathroom has been a staple, I think, in home improvement for years. And it rings true on the rental market too, right? We want to make sure our countertops look nice. We want to make sure that our tile in the bathroom is updated. So yeah, multiple scenarios that are popping up in my head for recent projects that all ring true with what Douglas was saying. So great. We know we got to make the condition look nice, especially the first time we're renting it. So what about at a turnover, right? We know that we want to lease it. We want to put it on the market when it's rent ready. The day I put it on the market for someone available to show it, I want them to walk in and feel like they could move in tomorrow, right? So we want to shorten that vacancy from the time that someone moves out to the time it go on the market. It needs to be completely made ready. So Douglas, what are we doing on our turnovers, as many that we do together, to coordinate a proper inspection, repairs, and cleanings all efficiently to get the property ready for the next resident?
So we think the communication is the key. We stay in touch with 1836 every step of the way, so things move fast. Most make-readies take between 1 to 3 business days, depending on the job. Owners can help on this process, approving work really quickly and telling us right away if they want extra things to be done too. So that's, I think, 3 most important keys of this process.
Yeah, of course. Communication is crucial, right? Especially, I think, upfront communication, right? If we're synced with the owner on what they can expect to be renovated or returned to its original condition, right? So of course, if there's any tenant damages, like a hole in the wall from opening the door too quick, we're going to fix that. But on top of that, is there anything that we want to improve in the meantime? We don't want to just send Douglas out and say, just slap some paint on it, clean it up. Is there anything that we want to improve, knowing that we're going to, maybe at this time of the year, a subprime leasing season in a buyer or renter friendly market? And what's our budget, right? What recommendations can Douglas provide based on what he's seeing at the property, what I'm seeing on the property reports, to execute quickly? And 1 to 3 days, Douglas, I think is being conservative. Every time I send you guys are turned around, next day or within 2 days. The biggest projects I'm sending you guys are getting done in 3 days. And the other thing is, you guys are doing cleanings for us, as a special treatment for our turnovers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we do that just for you guys. But that's a great point, because we try. I know on their side, investors and owners trying to have the house in the market as soon as possible. That's why we kind of speed up the process without to lose any quality and put attention to every single details in the house.
Of course, and that's huge for us, because we talked to Tanner with Lone Star Cleaning on our last webinar about how clean the property should be, right? And that's great. But if I'm sending Douglas out to perform make ready and maybe some extra plumbing or electrical repairs, getting an exact timeline on that isn't always feasible. And then scheduling a cleaner the day after everything is completed, so that we can get photographs taken the day after the cleaning is completed. Again, we want to stack all these in consecutive days. So Douglas and team will go ahead and clean the property while they're on site, or as soon as they can get cleaners out when they know that their make ready is going to be completed. That just reduces the amount of communication or back and forth and expedites our process. So we really appreciate you guys going the extra mile there for us. Okay, our last topic here, Douglas, is preventative maintenance. We're talking about long term, right? I love the phrase. I think I've used it probably in multiple webinars before, but slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So what that means is we want to get it done right the first time, and we want to avoid big mistakes or big maintenance items that are going to set us back, both timeline and financially. So what have you seen, Douglas, that owners should be prioritizing for preventative maintenance that benefits them long term?
Small things like cleaning gutters, changing filters, sealing cracks, and covering your hose spigot during cooler weather prevent future issues. Owners should plan ahead and set money aside each year for paint, flooring, and updates in general. Regular updates keep tenants happy and help the property to hold the value. So owners do a couple checkups a year because it helps avoid surprise repairs later.
Yeah, surprise repairs are no fun for anyone. I mean, you got a water heater or an HVAC leak, because we haven't went out and performed a preventative HVAC check, our float switch or safety switch, is maybe installed, but there's a short in the circuit or something. And now we have, especially during a vacancy, water on the floor, and we're visiting the property as often as every 30 days during the vacancy, but also when agents are showing up. But as you guys know, a water leak can spill out gallons per minute. So time is invaluable, and the last thing we want to have is a major situation during a vacancy that could have been prevented just by a quick, $100-$200 diagnostic assessment, right? Mm-hmm. So, and then you talked about changing filters, sealing cracks, cleaning gutters. All of these things are things that renters are looking for with, like I said, the surplus of inventory that's on the market. So when they show up and they see that the owner or the property management company is kind of deferring all the non-necessary things, that gives them a tell of how the owner approaches maintenance, right? How their overall attitude is towards this property. It's also going to translate to how they treat the property. If they come in and see that it's sparkling and we're quick to respond to anything that's needed, then just inadvertently, they're going to take care of the property much better. So again, we're thinking big picture, we're thinking long term, we're thinking about both visible and invisible risks here. But hey, Douglas, thanks for joining. I don't know how many more questions I have for you, but I really appreciate you joining, providing some valuable insight. I want to thank you personally for being such an awesome vendor. You and Elizabeth and team, so responsive, and you guys just get what we expect and have fulfilled those expectations over and over again consistently. So yeah, thank you guys so much. That's anything else, I guess, Douglas, you want to tell us or our audience about your team and company?
Absolutely. I would like everyone to know that we are a team that treats every project like it is our own. We believe communication is a key that mindset has helped us earn trust on our customers across the Austin area. And we are honored to work with 1836 property management team. You guys are great.
I love to hear that. Great. Well, Douglas, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. Help educate our investors and owners here. What you do is invaluable and really an essential part to our little world in the Austin investment real estate scene.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Talk to you guys soon.